Happy Monday night. So I just had something that I found really encouraging for myself today that I wanted to share real quick because I think it could encourage others as well. So today while I was at work, I had my headphones in and I was listening, to worship music like the Jesus loving girl that I am. And I was walking down the halls and there was this one line of this song that really just stood out to me. The whole song is just amazing. I'll put a link down in the comments, but it was just saying, I won't back down. And specifically, the whole verse is talking about how, you're going to stand in the presence of God and then surrender to God and then not back down from that. And to me, I kind of saw all these moments in my life when I have been in the presence of God and I've been having, this heavenly moment with my Father, and something has happened where I've shrunk back from it, and I wasn't able to go into the fullness of this. For whatever reason, I just shrunk back, and today I just felt like as soon as I heard that line, I saw all those moments, and I just felt God say, don't shrink back from me. And I was just like, man, all right. That's a bit intimidating because you're like God and everything, but I just realized, and I feel like I've kind of known. I feel like I've kind of known about it, but it just was really obvious to me today that I do absolutely shrink back from Him. Not every time, but there's a lot of times when I just find myself just like shrinking back from what I feel like God's trying to do with me in those moments. And I know for me personally, whenever I think back on all those times and kind of just rethink them, it's definitely shame and then fear. Those are the two main things for me that keep me shrinking back from a holy God. And so God just kept saying, don't shrink back from me, press into me in those moments, because there's so much that I want to do with you. And I think directly relating to, the shame and fear that I have felt sometimes, it's God just keeps saying, I love you, and I've forgiven you, and you're enough. And because a lot of my shame just comes from not feeling worthy and not feeling like I'm enough, which I think a lot of people can relate to. So God just keeps saying, I love you, you're enough, and I love you, and you're enough, like over and over again. And so I just encourage you to not shrink back from God, but press into Him instead, right? And then also just echo back words of love from God, that He loves you with an everlasting love. And then the rest of that verse says, with an unfailing love, I have drawn you to myself. I'm going crazy for the shadows. But with an everlasting love, I have drawn you to myself. So not only does He love us, but He draws us to Him. So when He draws you to Him, don't shrink back. That's what He's saying. Don't shrink back from that. Let Him draw you close. Let Him draw you close, because there's so much there that we can't even comprehend what that's like. But just don't shrink back. Keep pressing. Don't shrink back. Press in. And then one other last thing is, if you do feel like there's some kind of disconnect or something, between you and God, talk to Him about it. That is one of the biggest, I think, downfalls that I've had is, we mess up and sin and everything, and we feel all the shame and regret and oh, I'm so terrible, and then we don't talk to God about it. And that's not how it's supposed to work. We're supposed to talk to Him. Because of Jesus, we can go to Him and we can talk to Him and say, God, you already saw what I did. You know what I did. I'm so sorry for what I did. You already know that I'm sorry because you know my heart. And forgive me, and let's work this out. And so don't let that wedge, get between you and God. So when God draws you, don't shrink back. And then if there is something between you and God, talk to Him about it. So that's my encouragement for you today. I hope that is helpful. And I just pray that you would feel His everlasting, unfailing love for you, that you would know that you are enough and you are worthy and you are chosen by the Creator of the universe.